The Deadly Tower of Monsters is more than likely going to be one of the most unique games to be released this year, developed by the same people who gave us Xenoclash and Abyss Odyssey, Atlus's Ace team.
It would appear that now is the time for us to climb the Deadly Tower
This
of
game
Monsters.
is a third-person isometric game. You can shoot and engage in physical combat with swords, staffs, and other weapons you use by swinging. As in the title, you progress forward by climbing a deadly tower filled with monster traps, sub-bosses, main bosses, and other hazards that try to knock you off. There really is no punishment though for being knocked off, as you get as many chances to regain ground as you like.
It's like never-ending supply.
The main way of regaining your position on the tower is by teleporting to a checkpoint. You reach a checkpoint every now and then as you can continue to progress, and all it takes is a tap of the DualShock 4's touchpad and some slight navigation to pick wherever you want to teleport to. The earlier phases of this game is pretty much just a primer. You walk around learning the controls, how to engage in combat, avoid enemies, and pretty much the basics. It's also an intro to the story as well. The story mainly consists of the narrator, which is also the director of the movie in which you take part in. Throughout the entire game until the very end, you will hear the director rant about what he disliked about the movie, loved about the movie, and anything in between. In the beginning, it felt quite forced and annoying to hear this sarcastic babbling while you play, but as I continued to play, I became more appreciative, as it sets the tone and clues you in that this game shouldn't be taken so seriously, as the game itself doesn't even take itself seriously. The movie director says all kind of things that you might not even expect to hear from this game. I mean, take a listen to this.
Dick, though. For a while, we were gonna go with Dick Missile, I think. The studio didn't care much, as long as we steered clear of Uranus and black holes. Dick Missile penetrating deep into a black hole, then going to Uranus. That would have been a knee slapper.
There are 3 different characters you can choose from, or there's a cast you can choose from if you like. The middle-aged Earthling Dick Starspeed, which you begin the game as, a space woman named Scarlet Nova, and third simply named the Robot. Each character pretty much feels the same, some a bit slower than others, although I'm not too sure if that's just a difference in walking animation. Though the characters are pretty much the same overall, there is some separation between them, thanks to their abilities. Dick Starspeed, for example, is the only character that can lay trap mines. Scarlet Nova eventually gets a super speed running ability. All of these you must have in order to complete the game. Don't worry about obtaining them. By design, the game will always have you in position to unlock these extra moves, so that you don't go wandering around aimlessly. If you haven't noticed yet, the game's graphics aren't some semi-realistic technical feat, like many PS4 titles. And it doesn't have to be. This game is the first I can remember playing keeping its cards incredibly close to its chest, meaning it sticks with the 1950s, 60s sci-fi movie vibe it has going on. Stop motion animation for enemies, faithful art style through character design, weapons, and atmosphere. By default, there is a VHS filter going on, with artifacts that gives the game an older feel to it. It's purely aesthetic though, as you have an option to turn it off by choosing the DVD option in the settings. The most technically impressive game thing is the tower itself. The tower is incredibly tall, and you can feel it as you play that you become more aware, trying not to fall off. As tall as the tower is, you can literally jump from the top of the tower to the ground absolutely seamlessly. Take it, there is some hitches and few hiccups here and there on the frame rate, but regardless for what the developers wanted to achieve with this game, it is impressive, as even some boss fights, you're falling towards the ground while shooting them.
I wanted to go skydiving myself, but I have a crippling fear of heights.
Wow, really? So was this movie your way of tackling that fear head on?
Nah, this movie is what gave me my fear of heights.
In the end, this game was very enjoyable. Lesser in the beginning, but the more you play, the more you want to find and upgrade weapons, upgrade your skills, and complete all sorts of challenges the game offers you. Each part of the game feels incredibly climatic, even more so than the section before it. New strange looking enemies with entirely new, more efficient ways to defeat them. Story-wise, the Deadly Tower of Monsters is a huge surprise in every way, and you will find that out once you play it, as you will not find out in any review how the game is going to end out or play. It is extremely enjoyable, and most of the time so funny that you'll find yourself laughing much more than expected thanks to the director/narrator. If anything, give this game a shot. It is the funniest game I have played in a while, and the gameplay mechanics are just right for its length.
The doctor. After the first few outbursts, I tried firing him. He was heartbroken, devastated. And then the next day, he'd just show back up to work. Like nothing happened.